Look at OG Anunoby right now. 6 feet 7 inches, built like a machine, dominating the NBA playoffs for the New York Knicks. The man looks like he was carved out of stone. But here's what almost nobody is talking about. This guy has had a torn ACL, a ruptured appendix, a bone fragment surgically removed from his elbow, a serious concussion, and multiple hamstring tears all before the age of 29. And somehow, he's still one of the best players in the NBA. Today, we're breaking down the full, terrifying medical history of OG Anunoby and what it tells us about the human body's unbelievable ability to heal. Stay with me because this story gets dark before it gets inspiring. Before we get into the injuries, let's set the stage. OG Anunoby, full name Ogugwa Anunoby Jr., was born in London, England, moved to Jefferson City, Missouri as a kid, and grew up to become one of the most physically gifted basketball players on the planet. Standing 6 feet 7 inches with an almost 7 feet 3 inches wingspan, he plays like a Swiss Army knife elite defender, sharpshooter, relentless competitor. Right now in 2026, he is a key star for the New York Knicks, averaging over 21 points per game in the playoffs. But to get here, his body has paid an enormous price. Let's go injury by injury, and by the end of this, you will be shocked that this man is still playing basketball at all. The year is 2017. OG Anunoby is 19 years old, a sophomore at Indiana University, and he is electric. Experts are projecting him as a potential top 10 NBA draft pick. His future looks limitless. Then, in a January game against Penn State, battling for a rebound, his right knee buckles. He collapses to the floor and grabs his leg. He does not return. In the locker room, his teammates are in tears. His coach, Tom Crean, breaks down crying on live television, talking about him. The diagnosis, a torn ACL in his right knee. Season over. Surgery required. An ACL, the anterior cruciate ligament, is one of the most critical ligaments in the human knee. It controls rotation and forward movement. When it tears, full recovery takes 9 to 12 months minimum. For an athlete whose entire career depends on explosiveness, cutting, and jumping, it's devastating. Most players in his position would have stayed in college another year to fully recover. OG Anunoby declared for the NBA draft anyway. Still rehabbing, still not cleared for full workouts. Teams were scared off. He slid down draft boards. But the Toronto Raptors took a chance and drafted him 23rd overall. 4 months into his rehab, he had progressed only to set shots and light jumping. Yet he pushed forward, driven by an unshakable belief in his own recovery. That mental resilience would be tested again very soon. 2 years later, 2019, OG has made it through his ACL recovery, established himself as a rising star with the Toronto Raptors, and the team is heading into the NBA playoffs as a championship contender. OG is healthy, he's ready. The whole city of Toronto is buzzing. Then the night before the playoffs begin, OG starts feeling something. Headaches, stomach pain. He doesn't think much of it at first, but the pain intensifies. He can't sleep. He goes to the team medical staff. They send him to Mount Sinai Hospital in Toronto. The diagnosis, acute appendicitis. The appendix, a small finger-shaped pouch in your lower abdomen, had become severely inflamed. Left untreated, it can burst. And in OG's case, it already had. His appendix had already ruptured before they even got him into surgery. Bacteria and infectious material had begun leaking into his abdominal cavity. This is a life-threatening emergency. Appendicitis affects about 1 in 1,000 people in the U.S. each year, making it one of the most common abdominal emergencies. But a rupture is far more dangerous. It can lead to peritonitis, a severe infection of the abdominal lining, and without urgent surgery, it can be fatal. OG had emergency surgery that night. He lost about 15 pounds in the weeks that followed. Walking upright was his first challenge, then a treadmill, then a light jog. He was rebuilding from zero again. And here's the gut punch of this story. While OG Anunoby was lying in a hospital bed, unable to walk straight, his Toronto Raptors teammates went on a historic playoff run. They beat the Philadelphia 76ers, the Milwaukee Bucks, and eventually the Golden State Warriors, winning the NBA championship. OG Anunoby won a championship ring from a hospital bed. He was medically available in time to be activated for the finals, but never actually set foot on the court. He watched his teammates celebrate the biggest moment in franchise history, knowing he had been part of building that team, just not able to be there when it mattered most. Can you imagine how that feels? But we're not done, because that same season, OG missed games with a wrist sprain. He missed games with concussion-like symptoms, and in the middle of all of this, his father passed away. His coach, Nick Nurse, put it bluntly, he's had a difficult year. And yet, through all of that, the grief, the physical pain, the medical scares, OG never complained publicly, never made excuses, just kept working, kept fighting, kept his head down. From a health standpoint, that is a man managing extraordinary physical and emotional trauma simultaneously, and not breaking. Fast forward to 2024, OG is now a New York Knick. He's transformed their entire defense. The team goes 14-2 when he plays. He's healthy, dominant, finally the star he was always projected to be. Then his right elbow starts acting up. OG Anunoby had surgery to remove a loose bone fragment from his right shooting elbow. A piece of bone that had broken off and was floating around inside the joint, causing pain, limiting movement, and threatening to derail everything he had built. He missed 18 consecutive games. Without him, the Knicks went just 8-10. They desperately needed him back. He returned, pushed through, and made it to the playoffs, where his hamstring gave out. In the 2024 playoffs, OG tore his left hamstring mid-series against Indiana. He gutted through a Game 7 on a bad leg. The Knicks lost. In the 2025 to 2026 season, he strained his left hamstring again in November, missing 6 straight games. Then in the 2026 playoffs, another hamstring strain, right hamstring this time. He missed 2 games, came back for the Eastern Conference Finals, still playing, still competing. OG himself said about the latest injury, "It didn't feel as bad as the past when it happened. So knowing that, just trying to improve it day by day." That quote tells you everything about this man's relationship with his own body. He knows his injuries. He treats his body like a project, always under construction, always being rebuilt. Now here's why this story matters beyond basketball. OG Anunoby's medical history is a masterclass in what doctors call resilience physiology, the body's capacity to recover from repeated trauma when given the right conditions: rest, proper rehabilitation, mental fortitude, and professional support. Most people give up after one serious injury, a bad knee, a surgery, a health scare. They slow down, lose confidence in their bodies, and never fully come back. OG Anunoby has had 5 major medical events before age 29, and he is currently one of the best basketball players on the planet. The human body is more resilient than we give it credit for. But that resilience doesn't happen by accident. It requires commitment to recovery, trusting the medical process, and a refusal to let injury define your story. OG never let it define his. OG Anunoby is still playing, still dominating, and every time he steps on that court in 2026, he's doing it with a body that has been through war and won. If you found this video eye-opening, hit that like button, subscribe for more USA Health news, and drop a comment below. Which injury surprised you the most? See you in the next one.